Hey Math 10 students, welcome back from spring break. It is week 11 of our course and it's also another test week. Yay! We are jumping in this week with the Chapter 7 test. So the testing window is from Wednesday through Sunday at midnight. So make sure you have a plan right now for when you are going to complete your test, and make sure you work in 2 attempts of your test. You're going to be grateful that you have them. Especially for this one. This is another one of those tougher tests because it involves so much factoring that we did from chapter 6. All right. Second announcement, schedule a meeting with me. Remember, that's part of your weekly task assignment on test weeks. It's optional to meet with me, but the students who have been meeting with me are doing better on their tests than the students that don't. Okay, so please consider scheduling a meeting with me this week to review for your test, especially since we're coming off spring break. So third announcement is just to plan your schedule this week so you can study hard for your test. There's some videos in this week's module that show you how to go through every problem on the review assignment. That's a really great way to refresh your memory on Chapter 7 stuff, especially since we're coming back from the break again, all right? All right, and then lastly, for the rest of this, or at the end of this intro video, I'm going to show you the commonly missed problems from Chapter 7. So stick around for that. That's going to be really helpful for you. So here's your suggested schedule for the week. We didn't have school Monday, so it's kind of a short week. You need to get your Chapter 7 review assignment done. You need to fit the test in during the testing window. And then other than that, you only have one other section assignment. And this section 2.8 and 9.1 is probably an easier one. So kind of a slower week, I guess you would say, for a test week anyways. All right, so let's take a look at the things that you should remember from Chapter 7. These are the sections that we covered from Chapter 7, just to refresh your memory. Okay, so look over these and decide which ones you feel confident with and which ones you need help with, especially as I'm going to now show you the commonly missed problems from Chapter 7. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the commonly missed problems, and I'm not going to work through the problems, but as I go through these slides, I want you to imagine in your head how confident you feel knowing how to start that problem and how to find an answer, how to solve it. All right, and that's the questions that you're going to respond to in the weekly task after you watch the video. So here's a question from 7.2. It asks you to find the quotient and simplify the result. How confident do you feel solving this problem? And how confident do you feel with your exponent rules? Here's the most commonly missed question from 7.3. You're asked to subtract these rational expressions and simplify the result. So how confident do you feel in subtracting fractions where you have a like denominator, but you might need to do some factoring? Here's section 7.4. This one is asking you to perform the indicated operation. How confident do you feel that you could subtract these two rational expressions that have different denominators? Section 7.5 asks you to solve this equation and check the proposed solution. So solving an equation where we have fractions, how confident are you in solving equations that look like this? And then do you know how to check the solution? And then section 7.7, this is the most commonly missed problem. Simplify the complex fraction. All right, so this is where we have a fraction being divided by more fractions. How confident do you feel in knowing where to start and how to solve this problem? Okay, that's everything that I wanted to discuss. Go ahead and finish up your weekly task form and answer the questions there for me, and just study hard this week. Good luck. Reach out if you need anything. I'm cheering for you on my side. Okay, see you guys.